recall, EazyBot is due to launch for trading on the 16th of March, depending on where you are in the world. It might be the 17th, but we have the date slated as the 16th of March. So you are seeing something that isn't live, isn't in production yet. The development team is putting some final touches on it, but I want to take you into and show you how beautiful this platform is. This is what it will look like when you're using EazyBot. All right, so when we jump in here, I'm going to take you right into the bots. Let me go to bot management and let's jump right into bots. So as you can see, please fund your wallet to continue uninterrupted trading. So we don't have any funds. This is the development side. So we don't have any funds in this account, but that gives you an idea of a warning that will pop up if you don't have enough funds in your account. So let me talk about what that means and why you're seeing that warning. So the way EazyBot works is it will trade for you 24/7. However, when you do close on a winning trade, when EazyBot closes on a trade, you are going to give it either 20% or 30%, depending on your subscription level. So if you're a free user, we give EazyBot 30%. If you're an advanced or VIP user, it's 20%. Every time EazyBot closes on a trade, if it makes you $10 and you're a free user, we're going to give it $3. If you're an advanced or VIP user, we're only going to have to give it $2. So we need to have funds in a separate wallet in EazyBot that it can pull those fees from. We call this a software service fee. It's the fee that we pay to the software for the service it's providing for us. And we need to prepay those fees. We set it up in a wallet separate from your exchange account because EazyBot doesn't have access to pull any funds from your exchange. So we put it in this separate wallet. In fact, let me jump over here. You see my wallet. So when you get to my wallet, you'll notice some of the terminologies here will change, but there are actually a couple of different wallets. You can look at all your wallets. You can look at the wallet that holds your service fees. Again, some of these naming structures will change: self-funding, commission distribution, commission level. So we have different wallets. One of those wallets will be the service fee. So we're going to preload funds into that service fee wallet, and that is where EazyBot will pull that 20% or 30% every time it closes on a trade on your behalf. Some other wallets will deal with other aspects that we'll talk about a little bit later. So I'm going to go back to where we actually set up the bot, where the magic happens. So once you've got an EazyBot subscription, if you're a free user, you have access to set up 2 bots. And as you go up in the subscription levels, you get access to more bots. Once you open up to start setting up a bot, one thing that you're not going to see here that will be in the final production at launch is that one-click trading strategy. So you don't see that button selector here just yet, but that will be part of our setup and our setting when we get launched. All right, so a couple of things. I'll just run through all of these different pieces with you here, and we can come back and take any questions. If it goes over your head, if you're brand new to crypto or brand new to trading, please don't feel like you need to understand all the different things that I'm going to go through with you, because the purpose of that one-click strategy setup is that you don't need to know any of this. It's going to pre-fill all the parameters that you need to have in order for you to start successfully trading. But because we're in pre-launch and there are a lot of you that have questions about what makes EazyBot so special, I do want to run through it with you. And we're very, very proud of this user interface, the way it looks. Oh, by the way, there is the ability to change this. Right now we're in night mode or dark mode, and we do have the ability to switch between light and dark mode. Beautiful either way. All right, let's keep it in light mode. All right, so the first thing you can do here, because you can trade multiple bots, you might want to title, or you will need to actually title each of the bots that you're trading. So for example, we might come in here and call this test 1, and we'll date it. It's the 4th where I am. 3/4/2022. You can name it anything you want, whatever makes sense to you. So if you're doing, let's say test 1 XRP, we're trading XRP. All right, so we're going to name it. Here's one thing that's cool about EazyBot is that you can actually trade the same coin in multiple bots. So I can test XRP in the preset strategy, or I can I can run XRP in a totally different strategy. So I can run the same coin side by side in two different strategies. All right, the other thing that we're going to do is choose an exchange. We will have the ability for you to choose multiple exchanges. So in that scenario that I just gave you, where we might be testing XRP on two different strategies, we could also test it in two different exchanges. All right, coin selection. I know a lot of you have asked the question about what coins are available in EazyBot. Well, there you go. We've got there are 21 coins that will be available on Binance. Those 21 coins are programmed. We may have a little bit of a different selection in different exchanges, but as of right now, what's ready to go? Bitcoin, Binance Coin, Ethereum, Solana, Aave, TRX Tron Coin, XRP, ADA, DOT, Doge, LTC, Uni, Luna, BCH, ETC, Link, Matic, XLM, and XMR. Those are all ready and available for you. All right, so the bot option, when we get down here, you have the option between cycle and single. The cycle strategy, it simply means that EazyBot's going to open and close a trade automatically over and over and over and over and over again until you choose to stop it. If you put it in single strategy, probably something that our day traders and our scalpers are going to use more often, that means that EazyBot's going to open and close the trade and wait for you for further instruction. It won't keep trading. All right, status, pretty straightforward, active or inactive. And the balance. Balance is a pretty important feature here. This is how much you are giving to EazyBot to trade for you. Now, it's important to know that the minimum required amount to successfully use the one-click trading strategy is $600. That strategy is designed to work with no less than $600. So if you give EazyBot less than $600, you're on your own. So you need a minimum of $600. It will work with less, but you've been warned. It's designed to need at least $600 for it to trade successfully using that strategy. And here's why. What we know about the cryptocurrency markets is that it's extraordinarily volatile. And if you paid attention to what happened last year in 2021, we saw multiple occasions where there were drops of over 50%. Now, if you're in the market and you're trading, you want to be prepared to continue to successfully make profit and close trades, even in a 50% or greater drop. And that's exactly what EazyBot's been designed to do. Even in a significant downturn, 50% or more, EazyBot will still open and close trades successfully for you. So minimum required amount, recommended amount, $600. You can trade as much as you like. So you're going to choose how much you want to allocate to this particular bot. Here's something else that's really important as we're talking about balance. So let's assume that you're trading multiple coins. EazyBot, if you see here, is it's going to be able to show you your exchange balance. Now, let's say we have a couple other bots that are running. Let's pick a round number, for example, and say we've got $2,000 in our exchange account. And we're already spending let's say we're already spending $1,000 in whatever other setup we have. Maybe we're trading another bot and we have $1,000 allocated to it. Well, if we wanted to trade two more bots, and this was our third, then if we were setting this up to use more funds than what was in our total exchange, we're going to get a warning. EazyBot's not going to stop you from doing it, but it will warn you and it will tell you you are overextending yourself. You are setting me up to potentially have you in a situation where you're going to run out of money, and this strategy setting that we have for you might not work out. So you won't be flying blind when you're setting up your balance. That's the short story. All right, your initial order. Again, if you are using the one-click strategy setting, this initial order will fill in for you. The balance is something that you will need to choose manually, and everything else in this section in the box to your left, you'll need to choose manually as well. But your initial order is a preset setting if you're using the one-click trading strategy. Now, if you're an advanced user, there are some things that you're absolutely going to love about EazyBot, and the initial order will be something that you can choose for yourself. The initial order essentially is how much are you going to open this trade with? And for each trade, we're going to ask EazyBot to start this trade with a certain dollar amount. The minimum amount that an exchange will accept is $10. So with EazyBot, we generally start these initial orders with no less than $20 when you're using the one-click trading strategy that's currently programmed. Now, the button right below it, initiate immediately, is going to be checked when you're using the one-click trading strategy. However, for our advanced users, you can uncheck that, and that opens up two more boxes for you. Again, these aren't part of our one-click strategy, but for our advanced users, you may absolutely love this feature. What it does for you is price after X percentage. What does that mean? Essentially, what that means is that after EazyBot closes a trade, you can tell it, wait until there is a drop. In this case, if we use this number, we're telling EazyBot, wait until there's a drop in this coin of 1.5%. Before you go back into another trade, look for a 1.5% drop. And then the pullback says, I want there to be a 1.5% drop, and then I want there to be a 0.5% increase in the price. When those two things happen, that's when I want to go back in. So you have that's an absolutely fantastic piece of that's an absolutely fantastic customizable setting for our more advanced traders. You're going to love that. One thing that's not here that you will see in the final production at launch of EazyBot is a button that allows you to turn on and off automatic compounding. Now, automatic compounding is a feature that we absolutely love. I talked about it just a moment ago. Basically, what it does is it takes all the profit that EazyBot makes and puts that back into the total pool and adjusts your initial order, meaning that you're using the funds, you're using the profit that EazyBot makes for you immediately. And it's automatically compounding all the new money, all the new crypto that you're earning, and using it to earn you more new crypto. All right, so jumping down a little bit further, we have our take profit section. You can set your take profit ratio. So what we're looking at here is how much do we want this particular coin to go up before we close the trade. Right now it's set at 1.5%, which means that if we go into a position, we want 1.5% profit. Now, if you're new to crypto or new to crypto trading, that might not sound like a lot, but I want you to appreciate that EazyBot's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is constantly looking for just small increments of profit, and it's closing it for you without any input or any interaction from you. Now, the profit retracement is a really cool feature because what it does is it allows you to actually capture more than the 1.5% that you see in the take profit. And the way that works is what take profit is saying to EazyBot, when we see 1.5% profit from this trade position, we want you to stand by. Don't close this trade just yet. We want to wait until there is a retracement, until there's a little bit of a drop of 0.5%. And of course, both of these numbers can be changed. But we want there to be a little bit of a drop so that we have captured as much profit as possible. But once it starts to go the other way, let's go ahead and close this trade and take our profit. All right, so now the take profit independent. What's the difference between take profit average and take profit independent? So I'm going to come back to this take profit independent in just a second, and I'm going to tell you what we mean by average. So in EazyBot, the way this is going to work is you're going to open a trade with an initial position. That initial position, for those of you who are more technical, is 3.3% of whatever the total amount is that you've put in the balance right here. So once we've opened the trade, let's say we've opened it, in this case, with $20. Well, one of two things is going to happen. Value is going to go up or the value is going to go down. The value goes up enough to cover that 1.5% plus the retracement. We're going to close the trade. We're going to take profit. EazyBot, if you're compounding it, it's going to use that new money and get you right back into a new trading position. Now, if it goes the other way, which it often does in crypto, which is why crypto trading is hard and why EazyBot is so special, if it goes down, then what's going to happen is EazyBot is going to buy additional positions. What we call that in EazyBot is a cover. We're going to buy or we're going to cover the initial position by buying more positions. So I like to tell the story of going out and buying a pair of shoes. You paid $100 for this pair of shoes. You absolutely loved it. Maybe you thought about selling it for a profit. But then the next day, a friend called you and told you that you saw the same pair of shoes on sale for $50, literally half what you paid for it. So you went out and bought the pair of shoes for $50. So now you have a pair that you paid $100 and a pair that you paid $50. So your average cost of those two pairs of shoes is now $75. So in order to make profit when you sell these two pairs of shoes, you would have, if you only had the one pair, the $100 pair, you would have had to make more than $100. But because you now have an average cost between the two, you only have to make more than $75 in order to make profit. So very similar concept in what a cover does in EazyBot. We bought an initial position. When the coin value drops, we're going to buy an additional position at the lower price, lowering our average cost. And we'll continue to do that. EazyBot will continue to do that for you, again, without any input or interaction needed from you. And really what we love about EazyBot is that it it relishes in the drop in the market. You know, a lot of times when we think about how we make money, we think we need to always be buying low and selling high. And eventually we certainly do, but we actually make more money when the market's going down because of how sophisticated EasyBot is at looking at the market. It does that every single second. It looks at the market, reads the market, can make a decision about buying or selling on your behalf. So it's going to buy additional positions. These positions here in blue represent what we're talking about here when we say take profit average. All of these positions, the initial position plus these additional covers, 1, 2, and 3, we're going to average, EasyBot's going to average those positions. And then the profit that it's looking for is 1.5% or whatever number you have in there of that average position. So in the case of the shoes, it's going to take the $100 pair of shoes and the $75 pair of shoes. And if it bought more shoes at lower prices, it's going to take the average of those pairs of shoes, then look for the 1.5% profit with the retracement to close the trade. Now, what happens if it keeps going past these 3 covers? Well, these that are not in blue, they're not part of that average trade. These are considered independent trades. And that's what we are talking about over here. So right now we have 3 independent trades. Positions 4, 5, and 6 are independent. What that means is that if the price of the coin continues to drop, EazyBot is going to open these as independent positions. So in the case of shoes, for example, we bought the shoes at 100, we bought one at 50, we bought one at 45, 40, but then it dropped all the way to 30, and we bought that as an independent position. It's not part of our average cost of the other shoes. We bought it independently, and we're going to sell it independently. So we bought a pair of shoes at $35, and if we can sell it at $36, or let's say $38, we made $3 in profit. We're going to take that profit, and we're not going to close the entire trade yet because our total average cost is higher than what we just bought and sold. But we're going to take that $3 in profit. We bought at 35, closed at 38. Now in EazyBot, here's how this works, and this is absolutely incredible, super, super special. So let's simplify our shoe example and go back to the $100 and the $50 pair of shoes for an average cost of 75. Now, let's say we bought a pair of shoes let's go back and say we bought a pair independent position, we bought at 35 and we sold at 38. So now there's $3 in profit. Here's what EazyBot is going to do with that $3 in profit. It's going to take $1.50. It's going to put it right into your exchange account. Profit you get to keep. The other $1.50, it's going to take it and apply it to the $75. So now your average position price becomes $73.50. Well, that's powerful because the more that happens, the lower and lower your average position price is going to become. And the easier and easier it's going to be for you to close this trade in profit because you no longer need to get to $75. That $1.50 lowered it to $73.50. So now our target is lower and lower. And so as the market's dropping, as we see happen so often in crypto, we know it doesn't happen in a straight line. It generally happens with some movement up and down. And so as that's happening, EazyBot's opening and closing these independent positions and taking that profit and helping reduce the average of your trade, reduce the cost or the position of your average on your initial position and your first 3 covers. So your take profit on your independent positions can also be set for each of these independent positions. Plus, guess what? We can open as many of these as you like. We can just keep going. And we can get rid of them when we don't want them. All right, so the independent positions are so absolutely amazing, not only because they're making you money in a down market, but they're also helping to close a trade that you might have bought in a much higher position than where the market currently is functioning or is currently holding. All right, one other thing that you should know that is really very special, again, for our advanced traders, is right now what you see is after X cover. What this means, and some of this language again will change, but what this means is that you see that these three are in blue. I already told you that means that those are all part of the average trade. Well, guess what we can do? We can change that so that only these first two covers are part of the average trade. We can change it so that only the first cover is part of the average trade. And we can take it such that every single position operates independently. We can go the other way and make the first 9 positions part of the average trade. So a lot of flexibility here. We can set our take profit and our profit retracement just like we did in the average trade. Again, settings for our advanced users. If this feels like it's a little overwhelming or over your head, you don't have to know any of these things that I just went through. This is just an example of how EazyBot works. Again, a lot of data here. If you're new to crypto trading, you don't need to keep up with any of this. But I do want to answer or address the question about buying in a market that's dropping. So keep in mind, we talked about what an initial buy and a cover is. So hopefully everybody on the call recognizes those terminologies. You got an initial buy that happened here. It happened on the 9th of February at 2:02 p.m. We started that initial buy at a price of 90 cents. Okay. Now let's look at, I'm going to take you all the way to the end of this trade when it closes. We close this trade on the 12th. So about 2.5 days later, we close this trade at 84 cents in profit, $2.55 in profit. Total profit, $5.12. How do we close a trade 6 cents lower and make $2.55 doing so? That is the magic of buying and selling, even in a market that's dropping. Watch what happens here. We bought at 90 cents. We bought at 83, 82, 81, 80. This thing only goes down. Goes down to 79, 78, 76. 76 is the lowest point we saw in this trade. And it came back up to 80, 82, and we closed at 84 cents. What you see happening here in the profit loss column is you see all of these trades making small profit. What's reflected here is only 50% of the profit that was made when this independent position was sold. You see all these independent positions being sold, 50% of that profit, half of the profit made in that independent cover went to reducing the average position price of our initial trade. And therefore, we're able to close 6 cents lower in great profit. So that's kind of a visual example of how EazyBot continues to work trading for you, even in a market that's going down. All right, here, advanced package pays $100 and $25 to your sponsor. VIP package pays $398.99 to your sponsor. Now, the software service fees, amazing, very, very simple. We have the opportunity to earn through 20 levels. When you introduce EazyBot to just one person, it opens up the ability for you to earn on your first level. Your first level is everybody that you personally introduce, that you personally sponsor. Your second level is everybody they sponsor, and so forth. So once you've introduced your first person, you can earn off of them and everybody that they introduce. What you're earning is 8% of the percentage that EazyBot takes. So if of the 30% or the 20%, you're getting 8% of that. And you're also getting 8% of all of those folks on your second level. Now, once you've introduced two people that are active, what we consider active is they are trading with at least $600. Once you have 2 active directs, it opens up 2 more levels. Now you can get paid through levels 4. Now, maybe you aren't building a big team, but somebody in your organization is, And so you now have access, and you're also earning 8% on the folks on level 3 and 4, and so forth. Level 5, up to level 5, pays you 8% as well. So to get to level 5 and 6, you need 3 people that you've personally introduced, sponsored into EazyBot. Guys, the top of the pay plan, to access the top of the pay plan, you need to have introduced a total of just 10 active subscribers to EazyBot. Even better than that is you can access this pay plan, this compensation plan, even as a free subscriber. So even if you didn't subscribe yourself, you can still go out and share EazyBot with others, and every one of these commissions is available to you. So you can choose to build a team while you're trading. You can choose to build a team even if you're not trading. All right. After the 5th level, you get paid 1% all the way down to level 18, and then 0.5% on levels 19 and 20. I don't want to get into what these numbers look like, but I will tell you that based on what we've calculated, we know that there will be people in EazyBot that will earn 6 and 7 figures per month. Obviously, you're gonna have to put in a little bit of work there, but we know it's possible. And I encourage you to really seriously consider whether it makes sense to start to plan to share EazyBot with others and accelerate your earnings, because you can take the money that you're earning by sharing EazyBot, give it back to EazyBot to trade for you. And now we're really cooking, and we're really growing passive income for you. Now, listen, I want to talk about something that's happening, and it's only happening for a short time. And that is, by the way, before I do that, let's talk about the matching bonus. The matching bonus means that on your level 1 and level 2, you're getting a check match to that person's earnings. So for example, I'm not much of a builder myself, but I introduced John, who is, and John goes to work. He builds a huge team. He's at the point where he's making $100,000 a month. I get a matching bonus of 8%. What's 8% of $100 of $100,000? Somebody tell me that. What's that math? I'm just trying to wake y'all up.
$8,000 a month.
Thank you. John goes out, he's built a big team. I'm not a builder. I wasn't really interested in a compensation plan, but I just happen to know John. I thought this was great for him. So what's beautiful about this is there's no requirement that you have to meet to make that $8,000 a month. You've introduced John, and immediately everybody that you've introduced on your level 1, you're getting an 8% check match. On your level 2, you're getting a 3% check match. So some of you guys on the call, you're huge builders, and you know huge people that build big teams. That's going to absolutely be fantastic for you. For those of you who don't see yourself in that light, don't sell yourself short, because you never know. But if you're going to focus on other things and you're not planning on building a team, but you are going to introduce a couple of folks and one of them just takes off and they start making really great money, you know that these are here for you, and you don't need to do anything further to qualify to access them. Super powerful. All right, so the one thing that I want everybody on the call to know about is something called Founders Club. It is only available to the first 1,000 people that qualify. The qualifications are very, very simple. Introduce 3 people to EazyBot that are on an advanced package at a minimum, $250 subscription level. They must be trading with at least $600. That's your first qualification. You've got those 3 people in place. The next thing you need to do is take those 3 people and help them duplicate what you just did. Help those 3 people introduce 3 people that are also at least on the advanced package, $250 subscription, and trading with at least $600. Once you've accomplished that, if you do that as one of the first 1,000 people, you will have qualified for a Founders Club. Now, Founders Club is going to pay you forever as a part of a pool that is 5% of all the revenue generated by EazyBot. Now, we have some pretty big targets that we know that we can achieve, and we know that this monthly income bonus alone is going to be enough to retire some of the folks that participate here. So we think it's a huge opportunity that you should not miss. It's a super, super low barrier for you to qualify for. Oh, last requirement, by the way, is you must have, in order to qualify yourself, a VIP package. You must be on that VIP subscription package. Now, keep in mind, if you're pursuing this, you're signing folks up that are paying you a commission. Okay, so if you're signing folks up that are buying advanced package, you're getting 40%, you're getting $100 for each of those people that you've signed up directly. And if you're signing up folks on the VIP package, hopefully you are, because they're also pursuing Founders Club, you're earning $398 on each of those. That would be the path I would take. I'd look for other folks who are really serious and want to go after Founders Club. That way I've earned more money than my own subscription package cost me. So it essentially costs me nothing. And that's your final qualification for Founders Club. It gives you 5% access to a pool that represents 5% of all the revenue earned from all the different areas that EazyBot earns money, subscription package sales, and trading and software service fees. And there's only 1,000 people sharing in that pool forever. So don't sleep on that. Make sure that you take advantage of it and get yourself qualified. All right, a couple questions popped up in the chat. Lily, 5 to 20% includes auto compounding. No, it does not. But good question. That is before auto compounding. And met by AI affiliates. Okay, not sure what that means. Catherine, fees are yearly. Yes, the subscription, the software subscription is an annual fee paid every year. All right. Good stuff. Any other questions? I see Jean, you are up first. Come on in with your question.
Good evening.
Good
My
evening.
name is Ginny Berger. I heard I've been invited by Oyo. Is a Haitian guys, and I see your presentation. I have so many questions.
All right, fire away.
And I don't know if I'm gonna have time for all of them.
We'll start with the first one.
You said that your bot will close the trade, the profitable trade, and the one is negative, they will not close it.
Correct.
But how long it will keep it? Because if the market can keep going against the bot, for how long he will keep the loss? Do you think that is a good strategy? Because he can blow the account.
It'll never blow the account because if you follow our settings, well, I shouldn't say it'll never blow the account. If you follow our preset one-click trading strategy, you will have budgeted enough such that even in a market that's dropping 50, 60, 70%, there's enough funds allocated to EazyBot. Because, for example, if you remember when I said that in this example, when we had the $1,000 as our budget for this trade, we're not using that entire $1,000. We're opening this trade with 3.3% of the total balance that you've given it. So in that case, it would be $33.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of those funds are sitting in standby, waiting for the market to go in away from you and use those funds to buy additional positions. Now, your question about whether or not you can blow your account, this is really where the beauty of those independent covers that I just talked about, because sounds like you know a little bit about trading. So what you know happens is when the market's dropping, it's not just going down, it's going down and up even a little bit. In fact, the average coin moves between 1% and 5% every single day, multiple times a day. That's generally where it lives, even as it's going down. And so in that movement, EazyBot's picking up additional positions when it drops and it's selling them off. We're only looking for a small amount of movement. And so we know that every time it sells those independent positions, it's reducing your average cost. So maybe you bought way high in the market compared to where it is today. But the more the market drops, the more activity is happening in EazyBot, the more it's taking profit, reducing your average position price. And eventually, it will close that trade.
And also, you're talking about the exchanges. Which exchanges your bot can accept? If I would like to know if every exchanges, because
it's when we launch on the 16th, EazyBot will be ready to trade with Binance, and we are currently in the process of programming Coinbase Pro. If anything changes, we'll make that announcement. But at this moment, Binance is programmed and Coinbase Pro is in progress. We are going to add additional exchanges, Kraken, Huobi, and some other exchanges that are
Oh, you will provide which exchanges the person can choose, and then according to the country the person is.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay. Okay. And how many bots do you have? Because the way you sound, it sounds like you have a lot.
How many bots do we have? Was that your question?
Yes.
If I understand the question, you have access to trade as many coins as are available in EazyBot. If you have our VIP package, if you have our free package, you can trade 2 bots at a time. If you have our advanced package, and I'm drawing a blank, but I believe it's 10 coins. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And then if you have our advanced package, you can trade all the coins that are available in EazyBot. At launch, we'll have 21 coins available. We will add additional coins as we get going.
Oh, if I understand well, I asked you how many bots. Now you explain to me how many coins.
Well, each coin is being traded by a bot. So when you're asking me how many bots, there is EazyBot. You have an EazyBot account. In that EazyBot account, you can set up 1 bot, or you can set up multiple bots that are running simultaneously for you. And depending on the package that you're subscribed to, will determine how many bots you have access to trade simultaneously.
That's mean you're talking about $600. That's mean the $600 is the minimum requirement for each bot, if I understand well.
Yes. If you're using our one-click strategy, that is the minimum recommended amount to successfully use that strategy.
Okay. In your presentation, I see that you gave the customer or the client possibility to make some adjustment.
Yes.
And do you think that is a good idea? Because if I don't know exactly what I'm doing, and then I went to the system and playing on it, and then I put a set that's not fit properly well, do you think that will not blow my account?
I think that's possible. And I think that's part of what makes EazyBot special. Yeah, it's really a great question. It's part of what sets EazyBot apart from just about every other bot on the market, in that if you go anywhere else and you want to use a bot to trade with, you've got to figure out how to set that bot up. And you've got to know enough to be able to set it up to successfully trade and not blow your account. In EazyBot, we're going to give you the option to either use a strategy that's proven, or we respect the fact that there are advanced traders that are confident in their own strategies, and this tool will help them accelerate that strategy. So we don't want to lock anybody out from using this amazing platform. It's up to you. You're the investor. If you want to invest in crypto, we're going to give you a tool to help you be successful doing it. But you've got to make smart decisions. We just want to make it easier for you to do so.
Oh, that's mean we're going to have a preset, a default set. If the customer wants, he just go by the default. But if that person has knowledge using those kind of system, that person can make adjustment according to his knowledge. But
100%,
your system has a default one for the amateur.
You got it. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Why?
You got more?
Why your launch will be in Dubai? Because Dubai is a beautiful country, but he has a bad reputation of scammers. Why you go there?
Well, I don't know that Dubai has a worse reputation than any other country for crypto scammers. I think China has the worst reputation for scams in crypto, but I don't think we need to talk about scams. We are totally transparent with the software, but most importantly, the designer, owner, and founder of this product and in this strategy behind the product actually lives here in Dubai. And so it makes sense that the company is registered. There is a physical office that you can visit here in Dubai. And so that's really the number one reason why EazyBot is registered uh, as an entity in Dubai, United Arab Emirates.
How long have been you in business, in that kind of business?
EazyBot has not launched yet. So the license has been active for a few months and the product has not even been launched yet. We're in pre-launch.
No, you as a CEO, how long have been you
I'm
in
not
business?
I'm not a CEO. If you decide that you'd like to use EazyBot, you and I will be just alike. We'll be users. And if you decide you want to share it with others, we'll be able to do that and earn from sharing with others. But everybody on this call has the exact same access. You can buy a license or you can get one for free and trade with EazyBot. All of us will be equal in that respect.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
Thanks.